How many times have you been told you need to walk more? Walking is good for your health. And you really try. Go outside every evening. Walk your 10,000 steps, sometimes even more. And then you sadly notice that your muscles aren't gaining any strength. Your legs are tired, your back aches, and your strength seems to be waning. So it's not your fault. No one just explained the most important thing to you. Yes, walking is good for you. It improves circulation, supports your joints, and provides a light cardio workout. But if your goal is to strengthen your muscles and prevent age-related weakness, then walking alone, unfortunately, is not enough. As we age, our muscles respond differently to exercise. What worked at 30 is only half as effective after 60. When we simply walk, the muscles of our legs and body are indeed activated, but only at 20 and 30% of their capacity. They don't receive a real stimulus for growth. Without such a stimulus, they begin to decline. This process is called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It begins after age 40 and accelerates with each passing decade. That's why it happens like this. You walk, you try, but your muscles still melt like ice in the spring. To stop this process, you don't need heavy training, a gym, dumbbells, or exercise machines, but two simple exercises that you can do at home. No effort, no equipment, no risk. What helps you stay healthy at 30, 40, or 50 no longer works as well after 60. The body changes, and the rules for maintaining it change with it. Let's take the most popular advice: walk more. Yes, walking is indeed beneficial. It strengthens the heart, improves circulation, and gives joints the movement they need. But when it comes to muscle growth and maintenance, walking is merely a gentle toning exercise, not a workout. Our muscles are designed in such a way that they grow only when they receive sufficient resistance, when they have to work against. Now imagine, while walking, you activate your leg muscles, but only at 20–30% of their strength. This is too little for them to grow or strengthen. It's like watering a dead plant with a few drops of water. It seems to be paying attention, but there's no effect. This is why many older people notice that even though they walk every day, their legs still feel weaker. Climbing stairs becomes more difficult, and their gait becomes unsteady. This isn't because they're not trying hard enough, but because the load isn't sufficient to stimulate muscle growth. After age 50, a process begins that scientists call sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass. Every year, without targeted exercise, we lose 1 to 3% of our muscle tissue. And the less reasons we give the body to tense up, the faster the muscles go away. It's like a factory that stops producing goods if there are no orders. The body sees that muscles are no longer needed, meaning they can be dismantled for spare parts and energy. Now for the second extreme. Some decide to act like a teenager. They sign up for a gym, pick up dumbbells, and begin performing complex exercises, imitating young instructors online. But a body that has lived for decades without serious strain is not prepared for such challenges. Joints lose elasticity, ligaments become less flexible, and bones become more brittle. A sudden start to strength training can result in a sprain, injury, or even a fracture. So the question arises, what to do? On the one hand, just walking is not enough. On the other hand, lifting heavy objects is dangerous. Where is the golden mean? The answer is simple and at the same time profound. Muscles need to be activated but not forced. The elderly body is capable of responding to gentle but meaningful effort. It's important to give the muscles a clear signal. I'm using you. I need your strength. This signal triggers a chain of reactions, from improved blood circulation to the production of proteins that strengthen tissues. Research has shown that even moderate exercise, when performed correctly, can activate up to 90% of muscle fibers. And this can be done without a gym, without equipment, right at home. The main thing is to understand the principles: slow, controlled movements, proper breathing, regularity, and rest between sets. Your muscles aren't a function of age. They're a tool that can be reconfigured at any age. Even at 80, the body is capable of adapting and becoming stronger if you give it the right stimulus. And that's why the simple exercises we'll discuss below produce results where walks and pills fail. Aging is not a weakening. It is simply a transition to a different mode. A regime where mindless activity is replaced by conscious movement. Where strength, not accuracy, is important. Where you don't have to fight your body, you learn to negotiate with it. So take your time, don't demand the impossible from yourself. There is no race and no defeat here. There is a path to recovery, step by step, movement by movement. And soon you will learn exactly which exercises will help restore your body's strength, stability, and confidence. All you need is a little space, a wall, a chair, and your desire to become stronger. And then the nature of your body itself will do the rest. You just have to wake it up. Let's start with a simple, yet truly effective movement: wall push-ups. Many people perceive the word push-ups as something difficult, requiring strength and endurance. But the version I'm talking about is accessible to everyone, even those who haven't exercised in a while. This exercise can be performed anywhere: at home, in the hallway, in the kitchen, near a closet, or even in the entryway, as long as there's a flat wall. The main thing is that you can stand up straight and breathe normally. Why are wall push-ups so beneficial? The fact is, during normal walking or even light gymnastics, the muscles of the arms, shoulders, and chest are barely used. Yet they are what provide us with upper body strength, helping us maintain balance, support ourselves, rise from a chair, hold a bag, and hug loved ones. When you do wall push-ups, you engage up to 70% of your upper body muscle fibers. This is several times more than during regular exercise, and you don't overload your joints, risk falling, or put pressure on your spine. Everything is safe, stable, and natural. The mechanism is simple but ingenious. During light resistance, the muscles receive a signal. I am needed. I am being used. Tiny, microscopic tears in the fibers occur, painlessly, harmlessly. These tears trigger the body's repair process. In response, the body begins to produce protein, which makes muscle tissue denser, stronger, and more elastic. Scientists call this process mechanotransduction, when mechanical force triggers chemical growth reactions inside cells. And this happens at any age. Even at 90, the body is capable of responding to such signals. You just need to give them regularly. Research confirms that older adults who performed wall push-ups 3 times a week increased their arm strength by 1/3 and their muscle mass by approximately 2 kilograms after just 3 months. Their blood pressure stabilized, their sleep improved, and their overall well-being improved. Now the most important thing is technique. Stand facing the wall at arm's length. Place your palms slightly wider than your shoulders, fingers pointing upward. Heels are on the floor, body is straight without bending. Slowly bend your arms, approaching the wall until your nose is almost there. Then smoothly push off, straightening your arms. Do everything calmly, without jerking. As you inhale, move closer to the wall. As you exhale, push off. Start with 8 to 10 reps, doing 3 sets, resting for a minute between each set. When you feel that it has become easier, move a little further. The load will increase. And remember, a slight warmth or burning sensation in the muscles is a sign that you are doing everything right. Do these push-ups 3 times a week, for example on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. After a couple of weeks, you will notice that your arms have become stronger, your back is straighter, and your breathing is freer. The main thing is not to rush. It's not strength that matters here, but consistency. Wall push-ups are your first step to building muscle, confidence, and inner balance. Now let's move on to the second exercise, squats on a chair. It doesn't require athletic strength or put stress on your joints, yet it delivers amazing results. This exercise strengthens the muscles responsible for what matters most, our independence. Think about the movements we make every day. Sitting down, standing up, walking up the stairs, getting out of bed. All of these actions involve the muscles of the legs and buttocks. They are our foundation. But unfortunately, with age, this foundation is often compromised. Weak legs aren't just an inconvenience. They pose a risk of falls, a loss of confidence, and a loss of freedom. Chair squats are the easiest way to regain strength, stability, and a sense of control over your body. This movement is natural for humans, as it mimics what we do every day. But when approached correctly, it becomes a powerful tool against sarcopenia, age-related muscle weakening. Squats work 4 major muscle groups: the thighs, glutes, calves, and core. When you lower yourself, your body learns to maintain balance. When you rise, it engages your largest muscles, stimulating the production of growth hormones and testosterone, even in adulthood. This is a natural reaction of the body without drugs or supplements. Scientific studies show that people over 70 who perform chair squats just 4 times a week increase their leg muscle mass by 3 to 4 kilograms after just 3 out of 4 months, and their balance improved by almost 40%. Many experienced relief from chronic knee and lower back pain. Their gait became easier and their steps became more confident. Now about the technique. Take a stable chair without wheels and place it behind you. Stand straight with your feet shoulder-width apart and your toes turned slightly outward. Extend your arms forward for balance. Now slowly, without rushing, begin to move as if you want to sit down. First, move your pelvis back slightly, as if you were about to sit down on an invisible seat. The knees bend naturally, but do not go beyond the line of the toes. Lower yourself until your buttocks just touch the chair, and stop. Don't sit all the way down. Now rise back up smoothly, resting on your heels. Important, do not push with your toes, otherwise the load will go to your knees. As you stand up straight, gently tighten your glutes and feel your leg muscles come into play. Do 10-12 repetitions. If this is difficult, you can start by sitting all the way down and then stand up using your hands on your knees. Gradually, as you gain confidence, move on to lightly touching the seat. Do 3 sets, resting for 1.5 minutes. Perform the exercise 4 times a week, for example, on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This regimen gives the body enough time to recover, but at the same time maintains constant tone. It may seem difficult at first, especially if you haven't been physically active in a while. But within a couple of weeks, you'll notice changes. Getting up from a chair will become easier. Your gait will become more stable, and your body will become more responsive. Chair squats are more than just an exercise. They're a confidence booster. When your legs are strong, you feel freer. You don't fear stairs, walking, or getting up from a chair. You are again the master of your body, your movement, your life. It is these simple exercises that provide an effect that cannot be compared to any expensive procedure. This is a case where you don't have to pay for your health. You just need to devote 10 minutes a day to yourself. Now that you know the 2 main exercises for strengthening muscles, it's time to talk about what not to do. After all, sometimes even the best intentions can backfire if you don't exercise in moderation. Many people believe that the more difficult an exercise, the better. But this isn't true, especially after 60. Some movements are dangerous for the spine, joints, and blood vessels, and can actually weaken rather than strengthen the body. The first thing to avoid is sit-ups and crunches. They seem harmless, as they're often shown on television or online. But with every bend, you compress your spinal discs, which have already lost their elasticity. This can easily lead to a pinched or chronic lower back pain. These exercises don't strengthen your abs much, but put stress on your back and neck. The second dangerous movement is the overhead press, where the arms, holding dumbbells or a bar, reach behind the head. In this position, the shoulder joint is in an unnatural position. In older people, the tendons are already thinned, and such stress can cause inflammation or even rupture. After this, pain can persist for months, and arm movement will become limited. And third, leg extensions. Gyms often recommend them for strengthening the hips, but they put excessive pressure on the knees. Cartilage and ligaments, especially in older people, are simply not designed to withstand such stress. One awkward movement and the joint becomes inflamed. Remember, the goal of exercise isn't to exhaust your body, but to teach it to become strong and flexible again. Anything that causes pain, sudden tension, or dizziness is not the way to go. Now about the other side of health, nutrition. Muscles don't grow out of thin air. To recover from exercise, they require building blocks. Protein. After age 50, metabolism slows, making it harder for the body to absorb nutrients. Therefore, it's especially important to get protein daily from fish, eggs, cottage cheese, chicken, and legumes. Add some nuts, vegetable oil, vegetables, and pure water to your diet. It's a simple but effective formula that gives your body everything it needs. And one more thing, sleep. During sleep, muscles recover, the heart rests, and the nervous system is balanced. If you don't sleep at night, no exercise will be of any benefit. Therefore, take care of yourself as a whole, not only your body, but also your spirit. Remember, movement is medicine. But like any medicine, it must be taken in the right dose. 10 to 15 minutes a day, 2 simple exercises, a calm rhythm and mindfulness. That's enough to trigger powerful recovery processes in the body. Strength doesn't come from hard training. Strength comes from consistency. Every movement you make, every walk, every morning when you do push-ups or sit down on a chair, is an investment in your health, in your independence, in your life. You don't have to be an athlete to be strong. Your body has the ability to renew itself at any age. You just have to help it. It's never too late to start, but it's always too early to stop. Take care, friends. May your muscles be strong, your heart calm, and your steps confident. And let each new day not be a reminder of age, but proof that health can be restored. With your own hands, your own breath, your own faith in yourself.